fix. Nobody has the cure for love problems.
Along Came Love, in association with Blue Band Peanut Butter.
When the world changed, it made us go back to the simple joys and love the little things even more, like serving up your best, eating together, and sharing more. Now, we'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys. Coca-Cola, taste the simple joys.
Breastfeed your baby exclusively for the first 6 months of life. It helps them grow healthy and strong and protects them from infections and illnesses. Mothers with suspected or confirmed COVID-19 should be encouraged to initiate or continue to breastfeed while adhering to COVID-19 infection prevention and control measures to avert contact transmission of the virus to their infants and young children. Breast milk remains the best food and improves the baby's immunity. Breastfeeding is a foundation for a child's future health. Mothers who breastfeed reduce their risk of developing breast and ovarian cancers.
When the world changed, it made us go back to the simple joys and love the little things even more, like serving up your best, eating together, and sharing more. Now, we'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys. Coca-Cola, taste the simple joys.
Karatina University wishes to announce to all new and continuing students that lectures of the first semester of the 2020-2021 academic year are ongoing. New students' university joining instructions and details on creation of e-learning account for all students are on the university website. Payment of requisite fees is a requirement.
The super efficient Jiko Core requires half the charcoal of other Jikos, so you use less fuel and receive immediate savings. Enjoy our special offer now and save 1,000 Kenya shillings with every purchase. Jiko Core, Kenya's #1 saving Jiko.
Oh my, oh my, oh my days. Life is wonderful.
This is NTV.
Good afternoon. Welcome to a 1 o'clock news update. I'm Mark Masai. Tanzania's Civil Aviation Authority, TCAA, has reopened the country's skies to Kenyan airlines with immediate effect. This follows the removal of the 14-day mandatory quarantine for all passengers from Tanzania that Kenya had imposed. Kenya Airways, Fly 540 and Starlink, among others. Now, in a statement, TCAA's Director General Hamza Johari says that Tanzania will strive to adhere to the principles of the Chicago Convention of 1944 as well as bilateral air service agreements between two states. Now, some businesses within Nairobi's Luna Park were demolished last night following vacation notices issued just 24 hours prior. Business owners have condemned the devastation not just to their investments but also their livelihoods.
The Luna Park in Nairobi has been known to be the spot for fun and celebration. It now seems that the rides and the merry-go-round engines may never run again in these grounds after demolitions kicked off early today. Several businesses have already been dealt a blow by the infamous demolition trucks, and now they are worried that their lives may never be the same again.
Luna Park has been here for the last 10 years. The last 10 years, we have not had much of a dispute with them. We pay them 600,000 per month. So the period we have been here, we have paid them 72 million.
We are living in a state that is not fair to the ordinary mwananchi who is working hard to get his daily bread from hard work.
Corona came around, we have not in business. We have not been doing business. Now that the business is starting to pick, we are being told to move out.
The fear that is in us, we will go home at night, we are called that the place has been flattened. I mean, we are just from COVID. That is automatic depression. For a mother like me, that is automatic depression. It can even lead to death.
Kenya Railways Retirement Benefit Scheme is said to be the legal owner of the land, and it has issued notices to the current occupants, but they claim that the time was not sufficient for them to make alternative arrangements.
If they can give us time, one, for us to get a place to take our properties, running them down does not mean everything every day. When you want to do a project, you have to make people suffer.
The land has been earmarked to serve the construction of the Nairobi Expressway. Speaking to the press, business owners say it is unfair for them to only have 24 hours to pack up businesses that took them years to build.
Tumeambiwa within hours tubebe hizi mashini mnaona huku, tubebe hizi mabusiness mnaona huku, sijui tutabeba na nini, tuodoe zote kwa sababu they want the space clear.
They say that they fully support the construction of the road, but demand that the government intervenes and stop the destruction of their property. Charity Mwangi, NTV.
Elsewhere, regional security officers are currently expected at Gotkweru following Monday clashes that left some dead. Yesterday, the church leaders criticized the police for using excess force. The temperatures are yet to fully come down. Bernardo Jong now joins us live from Migori. Bernard, are things any better today?
Well, indeed, just you've said, regional security team are currently expected at Gotkweru, where they will be talking to the believers there. Remember, this follows Monday's bloody attack where several people were killed, 8 people were killed and several injured. And they are currently nursing their wounds and at different hospitals here in Migori County. Remember yesterday when the presiding pope there at Gotkweru, while addressing press, said that they are really requesting the security officers at least to chip in, do investigation, and bring those who are involved to books. And also they also blamed the security personnel who were also during that day that they could have not used excess force. And currently, we will be joining the security team, also the church leaders there, just to get what they will be talking about. And later, we will be talking to a regional commissioner just to tell us what is the way forward. Mark?
Bernard, thank you for that update. Unfortunately, had a bit of issues with signal at the tail end. But yes, it is being addressed by the security officers, and we hope no more damage or no more hurt will be meted out on the faithful there at Gotkwero. Now, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka has called on leaders to exercise tolerance during political meetings and avoid dividing the country along tribal lines. Kalonzo was speaking at his Karen office after meeting a group of church leaders from Rift Valley.
And people are talking about bedroom. Hapa ni bedroom ya fulani, hapa ni bedroom, Kibera ni bedroom sijui ya Raila, hii ni bedroom ya mwingine. Kasema hii bedroom ya Kenya belongs to all the Kenyans. Kwa hivyo nyinyi muwe watu wa kuliberate nchi hii. If you know a good leader, kama vile umeongea, don't be shy kusema. This is why hata my friend William amepokea watu wengi kutoka Ukambani. And I said, ni nyumbani. Ingia Ukambani huko. If you think you have a story to tell, enda huko. So that people can see.
Meanwhile, KANU party leader Gideon Moi has also urged politicians to shun divisive politics and work towards uniting the country ahead of the 2022 general elections. Speaking at Maparasha in Kajiado, where he attended a Moran's transition ceremony to elders, Moi told off leaders propagating hatred among the people. He called for respect among political leaders. KANU has threatened to expel Emrua Dikir MP Yohana Ngeno after he allegedly made derogatory remarks against the First Family. Moi urged leaders from the Masai community to be at the forefront in the preservation of their rich culture, but in doing so avoid retrogressive practices.
Amani ndio tunataka na heshima kwa wote, hasa kwa sisi viongozi. Tuchunge yale ambayo tunasema na tusiseme vitu ambayo inaweza kuleta shida kwa nchi yetu ya Kenya. Na tuchunge mila zetu.
Still in politics, and top leaders in the country recently held several meetings in the coast region in what seems to be drumming up support for the 2022 general elections. Both Deputy President William Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga met various leaders, and the heat of their presence is still being felt in the ground. Kevin Mutai joins us live from Mombasa. Kevin, what's the feeling on the ground, especially after some talk about boycotts, especially for the ODM party?
Mark, just 2-3 weeks ago, Deputy President William Ruto, together with his entourage, was in Mombasa and also toured several other counties here in the region, where he met leaders, businessmen and the newfound allies. All this is in a bid to support his, or rather to solidify his support for his 2022 presidential bid, with some of the key allies supporting Deputy President William Ruto, saying that they are here to meet political strategies so as to ensure that they'll be able to amass the votes from this coastal region and, of course, change the tune to the political arena from this particular region. But of course, just a couple of days ago, ODM party leader Raila Odinga, of course, together with a section of leaders from this region, including Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho and Taita Taveta Governor Granton Samboja, Raila also together with these particular leaders rallied for residents to support the Building Bridges initiative. And we had Governor Joho, while together with the ODM party leader in Kwale, telling residents to answer the Deputy President that the coast region is under lock and key. Joho made those remarks in what is believed to be just trying to answer the DPs, the meetups here in the coast regions. And you know what those two meetings have done here, Mark, is that we are seeing leaders allied to both factions now throwing jabs and calling one another names, and of course showing the support towards the leaders. But of course, again, this has elicited a lot of reactions, especially from residents. And just a couple of hours ago, a section of residents from Mombasa called for a press briefing where they told the press that the politics of this country needs to change to be the politics of ideals, to be the politics whereby leaders need to be elected not only on their influence in the political class, but rather they'll be, the accountability in terms with regards of development has to play a big part. And of course also we just spoke to some of them, but just listening to what they had to say.
Saki siasa za kuchochea, siasa za matusi, siasa tunazotaka hivi sasa Mombasa, and it is there to stay. Watu wafanye vitendo, maendeleo kwanza, ubroka baadaye.
Politics of division won't work in our country. We, the people of Pwani and Kenyans at large, we are aware who the true leader is and who is not. We know who is the leader for the people and who is not for the people. One thing I want to tell the good people of Kenya is that, we are at an age in a century where right now siasa ya ukabila imepitwa na wakati, siasa ya dini imepitwa na wakati. We as Kenyans now, we are focused on having leaders based on ideologies.
Siasa za 500, hakuna maendeleo, watoto wetu wavuta dawa, fika godown kule kaone ndugu zetu wamepotea wote. Kisa uongozi wa shilingi 500 kila siku leo tunapewa leso, kesho sijui tunapewa nini. Jamani tumechoka.
Well, with now ODM reggae being said by the ODM leader that the reggae is not, will still continue playing, so this has definitely caused us some sort of division even between some of the leaders, among them Mohammed Ali, who is nearly member of parliament, who was heard saying that there will be no BBI. So of course I believe there are other leaders who are allied to his thoughts, and we've been seeing him together with former Mombasa Senator Hassan Omar, who have been on the front line supporting the Deputy President William Ruto. So we expect to see, if at all, the BBI will somehow show a direction towards the political arena, and through, how the residents of this particular region will show their support with either supporting or supporting the leaders, in support with the ODM move to go for the BBI, and of course also, or rather they'll support the leaders who are against the Building Bridges initiative. So Mark, it's a wait and see game to see how the politics will be playing just maybe around the BBI and even during the, before the general elections. Back to you, Mark.
Kevin, thank you for that. It's not just in the coast that the temperatures, political temperatures are rising. And we have had in actually the last couple of weeks, some remarks made by members of parliament and other leaders. And one of them in the spotlight is Kapseret Member of Parliament, Oscar Sudi, who is set to be arraigned in Nakuru this afternoon. He faces charges of, among them, hate speech and offensive conduct. Ruth Sarmwe is also going to be on that beat today. What can we expect this afternoon?
So, Mark, joining you live from Nakuru is that Oscar Sudi will be present in court at around 2:30 p.m. where the court is expected to give a verdict where he will be released on bail, or the prosecution will continue to hold him, that is the police, for 14 more days to allow for more investigations. So Sudi was brought in Nakuru on Sunday after Saturday, I beg your pardon, when he presented himself at the Langas police station. After he presented himself at the Langas police station, and he was later transferred to Nakuru, and his case was heard on Monday. So on Monday he was facing the charges of hate speech and offensive conduct, but also 3 more charges were added. So we'll bring you up to speed on what will go on in the court session. Back to you, Mark.
And we'll see whether he'll be granted bail or not. Definitely a message is being sent out to all the political leaders. And not too long ago, we aired that story of others who are calling for non-divisive politics, and for those who are giving some offensive remarks to cease doing so. Now to something totally different. Today marks the International Day for the Preservation of the ozone layer. The United Nations says the ozone layer, which is a fragile shield of gas, protects the Earth from the harmful portion of the rays of the sun, thus helping preserve life on the planet. Anita Nkonge is currently at Mishoki Park, where the day was being commemorated amid concerns about global warming and climate change. Anita, what's the update from your end?
Well, Mark, first of all, I have to say I don't quite envy you in the studio. I've been having a lovely afternoon here at John Michuki Park. Now, what has happened is that the Cabinet Secretary for Environment, Kareko Tobiko, was here along with Governor for Nairobi, Mike Sonko, as they commemorated, as you said, the international preservation of the ozone layer. Now, the reason the ozone layer is so important is that it is technically the Earth's sunblock. Right? And what had happened 35 years ago was that they discovered that there were certain emissions that we were emitting as humans from things like refrigerators, I beg your pardon, air conditioning, amongst other things that were affecting the ozone layer and creating a hole, particularly above the South Pole. What then happened was that they saw a spike in cancer-related issues such as skin cancer, things like cataracts. It was affecting animals and our overall health and ecosystem. So 35 years ago, countries around the world signed a treaty at a convention in Vienna, promising to help diminish the emissions that we were creating. 35 years later, that is why we're celebrating today. So today, the DG for NEMA also stated that they are working with the county government, with KRA, amongst other stakeholders, to make sure that we continue to lessen and limit our emissions. But something else that was significant that happened today was that the United Nations Habitat for Environment also handed over to the CS for Environment a report, or rather an assessment of what they have been doing and looking at green spaces in Nairobi. And something interesting that they stated was this. When they initially started this assessment, they went to the Nairobi County and asked them how many public spaces there were. The county told them 5. They actually found out that they now have 826. So the Cabinet Secretary for Environment has said that they will take a look at the report and see what else they can do. You'll remember that the President and the CS for Environment have categorically, I beg your pardon, stated that they seek to fight for green spaces and reclaim them. Some of the issues that have come up are some residents who have been in some of these green spaces, but I will be sure to unpack the report later on in our subsequent bulletins, as well as give you more information on the ozone layer and what is happening with green spaces in the city and around the country. But back to you, Mark.
Anita, I definitely envy you with the green that's around you, and God knows some of us need more cover than others, just on a light note. More than 400 quarry workers in Kadondo Village, Kiharu constituency in Murang'a County are protesting against the move by the county government, beg your pardon, to close stone mines in the area. The miners say the decision to close the quarries, which took effect last week, has rendered them jobless. They've accused the county government of ignoring their request to address the matter, saying the administration is denying them their right to earn a living. Most people in the area moved in the quarries to the quarries after being laid off at their workplaces due to the adverse effect to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Kuja ongea na hawa watu wenye hii mashimo. Muongee, msikizane, hapa tunataka hivi, lakini sio kusema kuamuka usubuhi mmoja unasema saa hii county government imefunga kware. Na sasa hao watu wote walikuwa wameajiriwa huko, wewe utawapea chakula.
Tumekuwa na shida sana sababu especially wakati huu wa corona, hakuna chakula, hakuna pesa, hakuna nini. Nyumba ni za wenyewe, wanapata pesa at the end of the month. Watoto wetu every evening, every day, every night wanataka chakula. Huwezi ambia mtoto hakuna pesa kwa leo, hakuna pesa wapi, sababu wao wanajua ya kwamba wanafaa kukula.
Wangepeana muda, hata kaa lazima tufuate government measures zenye wamepeana. Like unaona kuta ziliwekwa, choo ziko, lakini wangetupea muda ile inafaa. Tujipange na tuhakikishe hizo vitu zote tumeweza kukamilisha venye inafaa. Lakini sio kuja leo uniambie nifunge kazi.
You're watching 1 o'clock news update. It's 19 minutes past the hour. I'll be back with more, including sports. Stay with us.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Mbolea za Mavuno Fertilizers zimetengenezwa mahususi kusaidia udongo na mimea. Zimetengenezwa kwa taaluma ya hali ya juu ya kisayansi. Zaidi ya wakulima 500,000 nchini wanaweza kupata mbolea hizi kwa bei nafuu. Zinapatikana katika maduka ya kuuza pembejeo kwa viwango vya kilo 1 hadi kilo 50. Wakulima ambao wametumia mbolea za Mavuno Fertilizers wamepata ongezeko la mazao yao kwa 30%. Wasiliana nasi leo kwa simu ili kujua mengi kuhusu namna mbolea za Mavuno zinavyosaidia kuongeza uzalishaji chakula nchini.
When the world changed, it made us go back to the simple joys and love the little things even more. Like serving up your best, eating together, and sharing more. Now, we'll take nothing for granted. And always remember to taste the simple joys. Coca-Cola. Taste the simple joys.
When you buy a bar of Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate, you can help change the story. That's because we will use part of the proceeds to donate milk to less fortunate children across our beautiful country. Let us come together and show the generous spirit that is inside of all of us. Cadbury Dairy Milk. There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Devki Steel Mills have provided quality building material with the widest range of associated steel products over the last 3 decades. Look for the Devki mark on a widest selling reinforcement, twisted and TMT rebars, which are KBS certified and have the diamond mark of quality. Devki Steel, Kenya's most trusted steel company.
Welcome back. Coffee farmers from Mutira Coffee Society in Kirinyaga Central have received a major boost with the installation of 3 Eco Pulper machines. The machines worth 10 million shillings that is, will ensure the quality of cherries processed for milling.
The farmers sieve through their berries, making sure their current stock is up to standard, ready for the markets. But it has not always been rosy. The 3 pulper machines purchased with a grant from the coffee management system will ensure that the farmers do not suffer losses that come with the destruction of coffee berries during the processing stage, further ensuring delivery of high-quality coffee.
We are happy to have Mutira as the frame of reference for the rest of Kenya in using such modern equipment to produce better quality coffee with very few defects.
According to Courier, the machines are also cost-effective as they require little water during processing. 5,000 coffee farmers under the society have also received fertilizers and soil testing services to ensure high production.
The Moya business community now wants the county government of Kirinyaga to stop harassing them over licenses as they are still suffering from the effects of COVID-19. Led by Chairman Anthony Mosheke, the traders say it was unfair for the county to continue harassing them while many of them are just reopening, having closed their businesses due to the government restrictions. Mosheke said the county government should suspend license fees until January 2021 to give the traders time to recover their business. Tabere MCA Godson Moshina has also urged the county government to give the traders a breather by suspending licensing fees.
Wale wengine tukafunga makazi zetu ikiwezekana, if it is possible. Hii vita ya COVID hatujaimaliza, na naona kuna zugukwa, unaitishwa license, unaitishwa kile kingine, na hiyo ni pesa ile imepojokea na hii COVID na njaa ya COVID.
Wenyewe tulipitisha mwezi wa 3 kama bunge kupitia mswada wa bunge ya kwamba sababu COVID imeingia, governor apeane waiver ya kulipa kodi. Na mpaka wa leo hatujawahi sikia. Sisi tunauliza, kweli serikali yetu ya county timiza hayo, hawa watu wameumia.
A family in Githunguri, Kiambu County is calling for protection from authorities following what they say are recent attacks over a parcel of land. The family claims that it is not the first time they have been attacked and threatened, adding that they have reported the matter to the police, but no action has been taken.
Francis Mungai looks through his X-ray scans as he nurses his wounds at his home in Githunguri, Kiambu County. The 4 cut wounds on his head are a reminder of how he narrowly escaped the jaws of death.
Kusikia mayowe nikatoka nje. Kufika hapo kwa barabara nilipata ndugu yangu mwenye ananifuata anaitwa Joel Kufai kama amechapwa. Kama anachapwa. Na kijana ya ndugu yangu mwingine mkubwa anaitwa Jenga, Joseph Jenga. Nikienda kuuliza ni nini mnaulizana, nikaona amenirushia panga. Nikainama, ikanipita na nikaweza kumshika, na ile panga juu ilikuwa silasha nikaikunja na tukaenda chini na yeye. Mama yake akakuja na panga akanikata.
Mungai claims that he and his family have been constantly attacked over a parcel of land, which his attackers want to forcefully gain ownership of. The family claims that they have been receiving death threats and are now fearing for their lives.
Nilikuwa nimeweka fence kwa shamba yangu. Huo kijana akakuja akabomoa. Nikaenda nikamstaki kwa Michael police post. Kuna action walichukua.
They are now requesting authorities not to turn a deaf ear, but instead to come to their assistance. Helen Aura, NTV.
Now briefly in sports. Everton face Salford in the second round of the EFL Cup tonight, aware that the prize for winning the competition has changed. The club lifting the EFL Cup trophy will no longer qualify for the Europa League, but the UEFA Europa Conference League, a new third tier of the club competition coming into force in 2021. The Champions League, Europa League and the new Europa Conference League will consist of 32 teams, each from next season. In select results Tuesday, Bournemouth edged out Crystal Palace 11-10 on penalties, and Aston Villa saw off Burton 3-1. Finally, let's shoot some hoops. And the Denver Nuggets became the first NBA side to recover from 3-1 down twice in the same playoffs by beating the Los Angeles Clippers in Game 7 to reach the Western Conference Finals. Jamal Murray scored 40 points as the Nuggets won 104-89 to complete another stunning turnaround. The Clippers have never advanced to the conference final in their 50-year history. Meanwhile, the Miami Heat edged the Boston Celtics 117-114 in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Jimmy Butler scored the winning basket with 12 seconds remaining, and then Bam Adebayo blocked Jason Tatum's attempt to tie the score with 3.7 seconds remaining, ensuring that the Heat drew first blood. With that hug, we end NTV at 1. Thank you for watching. The next news update will be at 4 o'clock and 7, and I'll be back at 9 with team coverage. Have yourself a good afternoon.
This is NTV.
I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Epilepsy is a condition that most people would rather not have a conversation about, but the truth of the matter is